So, in this box right here, I have had over 30 Charizard cards returned from PSA. Here are all my Charizard cards on the desk. There's 31 Charizards in the submission. So, if you like Charizards, this is the place to be for this video. This is going to have, hopefully, some huge 10s in. Now, with 31 cards submitted, I don't expect them all to be 10s. If we could get around half of them 10s, that would be fantastic. So, I'm going to start with these ones because I think that's the earliest one. So I'm just going to move them over a little bit. I've got my trusty little heat ran to hide the grades. So up first, we do have something a little special. So up first, we do have the Dark Charizard Japanese from the Rocket Gang set is in Japan. Obviously, Destiny Rivals have got revealed recently, and Rocket is having a lot of hype. But this is a very clean Dark Charizard. I don't think it will get a 10, just because the age, there's got to be something on it, a flaw that will stop it from getting a 10. So if we could get a 9 or an 8, even an 8, I'd be happy with for this. But Dark Charizard from Team Rocket, a 9. Okay, that is very, very good. That is a very good pull for a card of that age. And a 9 can go right there. First card of 9 is not too bad. And then sticking with Japanese, we have the Tag Team GX All-Stars, Reshiram and Charizard. Now, I pulled this from one of my Advent Calendar videos I did a few years back. So, can I get a 10 on this? It's a very clean card. I don't think there's actually anything too wrong with it. So, can we get a 10 on one of the cards that features a Pokemon other than Charizard? I think there is another one of these to come later on, but a gold one from English. So, have we got a 10 in the Reshiram and Charizard GX? Yeah, we go. First 10. That is nice. Japanese cards always have the higher quality, I find, compared to English. And our first 10 is on the board. There we go. So, sticking with Japanese, we have the VMAX Climax, what is it, a trainer gallery card for Charizard and Leon. My little boy's going to love this when he sees this because he loves Leon from the anime. So this is going to go down really well with him. So, can we get another 10? Let's see. I have good hopes for this. There we do. We get a second 10. That is good. Let's keep the 10s coming. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. And then another Japanese. This one's from V-Star Universe. This is just a V card. I think I've got a couple of Charizard Vs and V-Stars just because to find 30 different Charizard cards is kind of bonkers, and I didn't want to absolutely destroy my bank account getting all these different Charizard cards for this video to send off. But Charizard V, V-Star Universe, we are on a roll. Another 10. That is very, very good. If we can keep the 10s coming, I'll be over the moon with this. And speaking of the Charizard V-Star, we have one coming up now with the V-Star, obviously coming from the same set as the Charizard V. If the last one got a 10, this one's got a 10, right? Oh, yeah, there we go. So the Charizards have got off to a very good start, and I'm scared that this may go all downhill once it starts hitting English, because we have moved on to English Charizards now. And this one, I desperately want to be a 10. This is a Charizard I pulled on the channel. It is the secret rare Charizard from Flashfire. I pulled it in a Machamp tin I opened when I first started recording videos again. So, if this can give me a 10, this would be absolutely huge. 10s go for hundreds, if not thousands. Come on, please. Please. Just be high. Be a 10. An 8. An 8 is slightly disappointing. But, with it being a pure hollow, there has to be... there is a little nick at the top. I do remember actually there being one little flaw. I was hoping it wouldn't take it down to an 8. But an 8 for a card that I pulled on the channel, it's not too bad. It could have been huge though. It could have been huge. And it is our first 8. Not a good start to English Charizards. But we move into the Sun and Moon era now with the Hidden Fates Charizard GX. Is this the tin? This is the Hidden Fates tin promo. So hopefully, I would have thought there'll be hundreds of these in 10s, if not thousands, just because the Hidden Fates tins was so popular. And we get a 9 for that. Okay, that's fine. That's fair enough. Didn't want a 10 anyway, and that there'd be hundreds of them. I'm joking, I did want a 10. But this is the Charizard GX from Hidden Fates packs, not the 10's. The 10's one might be harder to get a 10 in actually, because the 10's can destroy the edges of the cards. But what did the Hidden Fates Charizard from the actual set get? Okay, another 10. That's good. That is very, very good. Another 10 for the 10 pile. If that pile can be the biggest by the end of the video, we're in for a treat. But up next, there we go. Here is another Reshiram and Charizard. This is the gold card that came out in the Sword and Shield era, but is a Sun and Moon era card. Surely this has to be high. I got this from my collection box itself, so I hope it will be a 10. I have high hopes. It's a 9. A 9 isn't that great, I must admit, because it's a more modern card. If you get a 9 on a modern card, it's basically whatever the card goes for, maybe plus the cost of grading. So we want to see higher than 9s for most of these other cards. Then, as we fully move into the Sword and Shield era, we have the Charizard VMAX from Darkness Ablaze. Now, I actually pulled this in a pack. It was a spare card that I pulled from a pack, so hopefully we can get a 10 in this. Come on, Charizard, please. A 9 on the Charizard VMAX. That is disappointing, because that would have been very nice. This is the most expensive card from Darkness Ablaze, so if we could have got a 10 in that, that would have been nice. Although I don't think a 10 actually goes for that much. And then we have the Cracked Ice Hollow from the deck box for Vivid Voltage. And as you can see, the 9 pile is creeping up to the 10 pile. But I have faith the 10s will come through. Charizard, Cracked Ice Hollow from Vivid Voltage. I actually really like this artwork with Leon in the background. And the 9s have just leveled it. The 9s have leveled it. That's slightly disappointing to see. But we are starting to see a theme here with the English prints. It's not as high quality as Japanese, so we are seeing more 9s. And then we have the Champions Path Charizard V, the ETB promo. This one I think is a bit off center, so I don't think this is even going to get a 9. I think this might even get an 8. Oh no, it does get a 9. That is nice. A Charizard V in a 9. Not quite a 10. A 10 would have been lovely in that though. A 9 officially becomes the biggest pile we have. Okay, this is one we want to be a 10. The Champions Path Charizard VMAX. This is a huge card. This is one of the cards I pulled in Champions Path when I actually first got it back into collecting. It was around Darkness Ablaze Champions Path time, and I pulled this. So I need this to be a 10, please. Fingers crossed. An 8 is heartbreaking. Why did this get an 8? Why did this get an 8? I can't see anything on the back. Oh, there's a scratch on the back. But an 8 is super disappointing for that. So we have another one to add to the 8 pile. And speaking of Charizard VMAXs, we have another one we want to be in a 10. This is a duplicate I pulled. So hopefully, if this is a 10, just saying, if these two are 10s, that would have covered the majority of the grading costs. So we need this to be a 10. We need this to be a 10. Another 8. 2 Charizard VMAXs, 2 8s. And I don't actually know why this has got an 8. I can't actually see anything on the card. But look at this card shining. That is really, really nice. And I know English cards normally get a bit of criticism for their texturing, but that looks really good in the light. It's just a shame it got an 8. So the 8 pile is starting to climb. Next up we have our first like basic Holo Charizard. It is the Holo from Pokemon Go. Now I'm not fussed if this gets a 10. If it does, that's fantastic. If it doesn't, it's not a huge loss. A 9 is a bit annoying though. But give me a 10 or just give me a 6. I don't mind. I don't mind. And then on to the Brilliant Stars Charizard V. Now we got this Charizard in a PSA 10 in Japanese. So for English, how did it do? It matches it. Okay, it also comes back as a 10. There we go. So we've got the same artwork in English and Japanese in a 10. That's not too bad. And then along with the V card, we have the V Star from Brilliant Stars. Will this also get a 10 like the Japanese? We've got a 10 in the V and the V Star in English and Japanese. That's kind of crazy. But Charizard V Star, PSA 10, let's go. So we are just over halfway with this card now. And now it's a different Charizard V. It is still from Brilliant Stars, but it is the full art. Now, I pulled this in a video. I can't remember what video I pulled it is, but it's very, very off-center in. But it is a bit off-center on the left. It's a bit heavy on the left-hand side. So I don't think this will be a 10. I think this will be a 9. Let's have a look. Yeah, there we go. A 9. I can't complain with that. I did think it was a bit heavy on the left side or the right side on the back. And then we have this Charizard artwork for a third time. This time it is for Crown Zenith. Can we get this in a third 10? No, we get a 9. I'm actually kind of glad that's a 9. It's a little bit different. But we've got that artwork 3 times from 3 different sets in 2 different languages. 2 10s and a 9. I can't really grumble with that. And then we have a different Charizard V-Star. This time from Crown Zenith. I'm trying to not get a shadow on the card. This time from Crown Zenith. Come on. Be a 10. There we go. A 10 is huge in some of these cards. It's cards like this where it will just slowly grapple back the cost of grading. Which I don't think we've done too bad actually. We've got a solid pile of 10s. And some disappointing 8s. But Radiant Charizard from Crown Zenith. I really like the Radiant cards. I just wish they had like decorated backgrounds and not plain backgrounds like some of them had. It's a shame we won't see Radiant cards again for a while in the TCG. But Radiant Charizard from Crown Zenith has come back a 10. There we go. That is very nice. That is very nice. And I love the pattern and the shimmer on Radiant cards. But Radiant Charizard, Gem Mint 10. And we're back up to level on the 9s and 10s. And the 8s is very rightly down there, as it should be. And into the Scarlet and Violet era, we have the Charizard EX from the Charizard Premium Box. This is the promo. There is one of these in Obsidian Flames as well. So, can Charizard Full Art help us out? And it does, with a 10. Okay, from the Premium Collection box. That's very nice, actually. Because that box will ruin some of the card's edges. But not this one. It's a 10. And then we have a second one from the Charizard Premium Collection boxes. Because I got one of the boxes for Christmas, I believe. So I have 2 of the promos. So, can we get a 10 in this? We've got 2 10s. There we go. 2 of the same cards coming back as a 10. Very nice. And we have a little bit of a cushion in the 10 pile, which is very nice to see. And then we have Charizard EX. This one's from Obsidian Flames. This is the standard EX, but it's a nice Terra card. Can it get a 10? I believe there's a couple more Obsidian Flames Charizards coming up soon. But no, we have another one for the 8 pile. I can't actually see why this gets an 8. There's nothing massively glaring on the card. And then we have the Ultra Rare from Obsidian Flames. This is the full art from Obsidian Flames packs. We have the Charizard, the different artwork to here. But can this do the same as the promo cards and get a 10? It can. That is very nice. That is very nice indeed. Then we have one of the big boys from Obsidian Flames. That is the Charizard EX Special Illustration Rare. Now, I don't think this is going to be a 10. This is a card I pulled from one of the Charizard Premium Collections. I don't think this is going to be a 10. I think there was something wrong with it when I sent it in. Is it because it's heavy, top heavy? Yeah, it's very off-center. You can see it more on the back. It's just very, very off-center. So I don't think this is going to be a 10. So if this is going to be a 9, that'd be great. It may even be an 8. It's a 9. Okay, I'll take a 9 for that. It is a little bit disappointing. We've had 3 big hitting Charizard chases and they've all come back as 2 8s and a 9. We do have another Charizard from Obsidian Flames here. And it's the Gold Charizard EX. Can this one break the curve and give us a nice 10 for a good chase Charizard? No, it can't. It gives us another 9, but that is a stunning card nonetheless. The gold full art looks better than just the standard full art in my opinion. So we have 4 cards left in the submission, and this is the Paldean's Fates Obsidian Flames one. If this gets an 8 to match that, I'll be kind of annoyed. But I also have a feeling this won't, because Paldean Fates, some of the packs were battered. So if it's got a 10, it's heavily, massively surprising, but if it doesn't, I won't be surprised at all. A 9 is not too bad, I would take a 9, but that does level us up with the 10 pile. And with 3 cards to go, we are running out of space. But we do have another Radiant Charizard this time. It is the simplified Chinese Radiant Charizard. Very nice card. It shines a lot more than the English one, I have to say. Come on, just give me the 10s. Give 3 10s to end the video on, because the last 2 cards are big. So if they can be 10s, that would be huge. That's a good start. Radiant Charizard, simplified Chinese, PSA 10. And we're going to end on a bang. Charizard VMAX. We've got 2 cards left. Charizard VMAX from the gift box in simplified Chinese. Can we end? We've got 1. Can we end on a bang and get a PSA 10? Please. Come on, Charizard. Yes! That is huge. That is great. We've got 1 more card to go, but the 30th card gives us a PSA 10. And I have to say, that card and texturing looks incredible. Very, very good. And then the final card, the shiny Charizard VMAX. Simplified Chinese language again, but it is a stunning card. So, can we end the video on a 10? The last 3 cards would have been 10 if it is. What did the Charizard VMAX get? That is huge. That is very, very huge. Charizard VMAX, simplified Chinese in a 10. And the 10 pile wins. So as you can see, we have a bunch of cards. We have 4 8s, a bunch of 9s, and a big stack of 10s. And we actually ended on 15 10s, which is just under, or just over half, because there was 31 cards in the submission, so just under half the cards in a 10. I can't really grumble with that. The big hitters didn't get the 10s that I wanted, but 15 cards in a 10, I cannot grumble. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more trading card content. I've been Pigeon, thank you all for watching, and goodbye.